Uh-oh. Okay. Did something happen with the stream? I hope nothing happened with the stream. Oh boy, that's not good. I think something happened with the stream. Anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly tweet out. So this is season 6 of the PAC, the Premier Amateur Community. And that is between Team Ember and Pot of Greed. So let me go ahead and transition on over.
10 seconds remain.
Alrighty.
5 seconds remain. Dire's turn to ban.
Huh.
Radiant's turn to ban.
I wonder why I'm not hearing anything. I'm really confused.
5 seconds. Dire's turn to pick. Radiant must choose.
Alright, I know that was working earlier, so hold on 1 second. Let me restart Dota real fast, see if that'll help with my issues. Okay. All right. All right. All right, here we go. Anyways, all right, so we're gonna go with seeing how this all works out.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Okay. Anyways. So Team Ember has the current pick at the moment. They went ahead and banned out the Axe and the Brewmaster. A little surprised that they did not go for a Centaur pick or a Centaur ban. Centaur has been one of those heroes that in this meta has been absolutely like sought after.
Earth Shaker.
I think I'm going crazy.
Radiant's turn to ban.
I can't hear anything.
To ban.
Like I literally cannot hear anything. Like what the hell?
Radiant's ban. Dire's turn to ban.
This is kind of scary for my ears.
10 seconds remain.
I know that's working.
5 seconds remain.
Interesting. Okay, so I know you guys are picking it up on stream, I think, according to my audio settings. So let's see. Let me just knock this down quite a bit. Okay. I think I know what's wrong.
10 seconds remain.
Yep, I know what's wrong. That is funny.
5 seconds remain.
Oh,
Radiant must choose.
right. I knew I forgot to check one setting. There we go. Everything's much better now. Alright. Okie dokies. I can hear again. Thank goodness. That was throwing me off so badly, so I do apologize about that. So we got a Shadow Shaman and an Earthshaker, so there feels like there's going to be a lot of disabling going on in this game. Oh, and same thing with Team Ember. They're opting for a Snapfire. They're going to have a Snapfire cookie, which more or less, I would say is not the most reliable stun in the game, but it is a stun. They have Dazzle with Poison Touch, which is a great slow. We have Night Stalker with a mini stun as well as a very large silence. So there's some good variety with Team Ember. They just need to find that. I think they may want to rely on either having a DK in their mid for a reliable stun, or they can go ahead and probably pick up a 1 that can go ahead and do that as well. So there's plenty of options for Team Ember to go down with oh, okay. And so in the second phase, we got Klink's PL and Centaur being banned out from Team Ember. Now, when we take a look at the Pot of Greed, there is no Grimstroke, there is no Jug, no Troll, no Viper, and no Ursa. Oh, no Fuzzy Wuzzy. I enjoy Fuzzy Wuzzy. It's always nice to see him hop all over the place and be like, roar in rage. I'm gonna go ahead and buy myself an Aghanim shard and be really enraged. Be hopping all over the place. Big bear in your face. Okay, that's enough from me. Shadow Shaman, Earthshaker, and Razor for Pot of Greed. They have 1 reliable stun. Well, not actually. You know what? They don't have a reliable stun. It's more like an unreal. That is definitely. They definitely have a stun. No doubt about it. An Earthshaker. At least 2 of them. You have Shadow Shaman with a disable in his shackles, a channeled shackles, and have the hex as well. And you know what? That's the Serpent Wards. So that's good to see.
Dyer's turn to pick.
Ooh. Intriguing pick in the Drow Ranger. That's awesome. So we have a Razor that can go ahead and easily opt in as a 3 if they wanted to. So a Drow versus Razor matchup can be in order in play. Is it one that you want to see in this game is the question. I don't know. Night Stalker can play the 2, or he can play the 3. But funny enough, I think the Dazzle and Night Stalker combination works really well because you have Night Stalker who's going to be doing the 4-minute rotation during nighttime. Not to mention he's actually a-okay for like the initial pre-fight into the bounty runes because it's nighttime. But you don't want to ruin your game as Night Stalker. So chances are you're just going to go ahead and grab your Q in your void and be like, okay, I'll deal with it later, you know. So Pot of Greed has a few options here when you look at it. You can go ahead and try to give yourself a more favorable matchup with your 3 by going ahead and just grabbing your 1 right now, because you can go ahead and opt to have a Razor in the mid lane, you know, which is really fun to play, really fun to do as well. Great matchup for Razors, for Razor in almost like every matchup for them. If you take a look at a lot of the mid heroes, because that static link, once you build it up, it's like, oh god, you need to run. All right, so you can run Medusa as a mid hero, or you can run Medusa as a 1. And 2, 1. Razor, 1, 2, 3, of course. So they have some good flexibility here. What you're probably looking for is aiming to see which 2 heroes you can ban out or anything that can help them. So they fear the Faceless Void and not Well, that is a hero that you are not wanting to see at all. Believe me, you do not want to see a Faceless Void in your games. Given how Faceless Void has been creeping back into the meta. Ooh, no Storm Spirit. Okay. And I was just about to say, do not let the Puck through. Do not, because Puck will ruin that whole entire lineup as well. And the same goes for Team Ember. You know, like if you can't pick a Puck right off the bat when you're getting to this latter phase, it's not a good idea. Now, it's a little confusing as to why you would like to see Puck being banned out, given that Storm Spirit was the last pick there, right? And it's like, oh, you have a Puck that's going to be a favorable matchup. So here's the thing: if you're going to make Medusa 1, right, you don't want to have Puck still be in the pool. Sorry, if Medusa is going to be a 2, you don't want to have Puck in the pool still. Because, like, again, Puck just ruins a lot of games. Like, there's... You turn Puck into a 4, you turn Puck into a 2, you turn... it's just too problematic. Because, like, once you have a hero that mobile with a team that can go ahead and be mobile and spreads out the way Team Ember is, then you're going to be running into a lot of issues. Okie dokie. Alrighty. So they're opting for a Mars, which is really nice to think about, because okay, so you're going to be shoving Razor either mid or he's going to be in the safe lane. So again, this is really flexible. Not to mention Mars can actually play as a 2. So this lineup from Pot of Greed is super flexible. You don't know exactly which heroes are going to be playing what. You can play, you can run Earthshaker as a 5 and a Shadow Shaman as a 3, not a 3, but really like a 4/3 of sorts, like a tweener, with the Mars in the off lane, or you can run Razor with the Shadow Shaman in the off lane, do so wherever. It's pretty interesting, you know. All right, and we got Tidehunter, not Tidehunter, the Tidebringer himself, Kunkka. Ooh, okay. So Naya will be the 5 playing on the Shadow Shaman, and this is where we're playing musical chairs at this point. It's like, hey, we now know the 5, and now we just need to build what's our lineup and what is it going to look like. All right, so B-Jack Honeydew, who's traditionally a 1 on this team, is going to be playing on the Mars. We have Rob Boss playing on the Medusa, who will be your 2. Welshie is going to be playing on the Razor, which leaves Gree to be on the Earthshaker.
5 seconds.
And if we take a look over at Team Ember, we have Sean on the Night Stalker, Tech 9 on the Kunkka, Math Jets on the Dazzle, Pine Cuba, you're going to be on the Drow, with Revamp on the Snapfire. Right. So we got that out of the way. We're going to keep a close eye on what's going to be happening. So chances are they might run with how would I build the lanes? Like, maybe you go aggro try with Pot of Greed? Because you do have 2 disables of sorts in and Earthshaker. You have a Razor who can do static link, and if you do the setup proper with a Fissure and not to mention, it doesn't feel like they have enough disables from Team Ember. Like, they're exposing themselves a bit in a duo lane with a Drow. They can't leave Night Stalker alone in lane unless he's alone in lane with and has, I wouldn't say a favorable matchup, but like a decent matchup or something that slightly favors him. Yeah, you kind of sort of need to rely on that. Yeah.
Alright guys, I know we probably lost this game, but we can still do this. This couldn't
You
have
make
ended any
best
other way.
situation out of no situation.
You're a
Let's
trusty
push.
mate.
Shane, you need to be like a shark.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a
All right,
lot.
guys. I know we probably
You
lost
need to
this
be
game,
like
but
a
we can still
shark.
do this.
Dazzling death.
My God, the voice lines, I absolutely love them all. I'm so glad that they finally put these voice lines in. These supporter packs is very, very needed. Alright, given the oh, they definitely pinged it out. Okay. Alright, so Pot of Greed, they're going to go ahead and do their patent 5-man smoke, which is going to lead them the long way around. Naya being the ballsy one and be like, hey, you know what, let's go this way. So it feels like they're going to run into this Snapfire, which they do. Snapfire having a very slow reaction to this. Out comes the Fissure. They're going to go ahead and use the Shackle. And out comes a Static Link, give themselves an easy first blood. Mystic Snake being thrown out there. Not entirely sure why. But, you know, use your spells, baby.
Do better than that.
So an easy first blood for Pot of Greed. And that is something that you will be happy with as well. Ah. Aha. So they are going with an aggro try. Not entirely awful. You know, like I'm saying, this is a lineup that you have to take a little bit of care with. You know, Pi and Cuba just standing there,
Denied.
wanting to go ahead and you know, put themselves in good position. Ooh. Revamp may have seen eyes on B-Jack. B-Jack with the Fissure. They do have this Drow somewhat stuck in place. Out comes a Static Lane one more time. They have her shackled up. And there it goes. Another death. And a great easy kill for Pot of Greed. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and absolutely ruin this bottom lane quite a bit, trying to give Welshie the best setup that they possibly can, and Shadow Shaman quickly rotating up top. So with a quick visit, we're going to go ahead and take a look-see on how everything is. Alright, as far as I can tell, B-Jack Honeydew seems to be having a good time over here. Oh gosh, I keep confusing, not Naya, but I keep confusing Gree with B-Jack Honeydew, because I see Team B-Jack, I'm like, oh god. Alright, and so a little bit of a chase for B-Jack. Kind of feels like if you want to go ahead and take a better advantage on... Oh, out comes the Fissure, the Static Link, and the Plasma Field. Out comes the Cookie, just so they can get the Drow away. And man, that was enough range where you went ahead and be like, oh god. Oh, man, these armor breaks. Just from the little shredder does so much. But it kind of feels like if they can they go ahead and juke him out just a little bit? Try to get Pi and Cuba to overreact? Nope. They're gonna go ahead and enchant the totem real quick. Feels like they're gonna do something real... Oh, they need a few more seconds on the Static Link before they can go ahead and engage one more time. But by the time they do, it feels like Pi and Cuba is gonna be recovered really, really well. Alright, the little shredder doing its thing. Alright, out comes Gree, and he was able to sneak on by. Out comes the enchant totem. There's the Cookie. They went ahead and overcommitted on that just a tad bit. The Static Link had its full duration, so it's easy to go ahead. And, oh, they almost had Pi and Cuba on the wrong side of the Fissure, and an easy kill for Welshie. But a little bit of mistiming and some good fortune. Pi and Cuba was able to go ahead and make sure he was able to escape just in time, so the lane doesn't turn into a disaster. Alright, as we go visit the mid lane, Robbot seems to be doing relatively okay. A few CS behind the Kunkka. It's to be expected when you have a Kunkka who has Tiebringer, so it's not that much of a surprise. Okay. Oh, these voice lines. How cute. But if we go ahead and take a quick visit over to the Shadow Shaman, who's probably... Oh, he looked like he was trying to aim for a puppy pull, but he went ahead and just pulled the whole entire wave anyways. Oh, this is nice. Good for Daya. Alright, you're pulling the lane back, and... Oh. Kind of feels like Mavjets was trying to pull the lane as well, but I think he didn't realize that the wave wasn't there just yet. Okay, but this allows B-Jack Honeydew to go ahead and really farm up, because he is one of those heroes where a spear and a quick bulwark can easily help him out with farming. God's Rebuke. Oh, think he realizes what's going on. Uh-oh. And a deny right under his nose. That's not exactly something you want to see. Quick spear to go ahead and try to harass Mapjets off of this stack, but nothing too fancy. Naya and Sean trying to go ahead and knock each other back and forth a little bit. But it feels like, uh-oh, they're going to go ahead and try to do a chase down on Mapjets. Who's going to go ahead and TP on out and the cancel on the salve, but the TP on out is back to the tower. Over here on the bottom lane, oh, the enchant told him to go ahead and put pressure on Pi and Cuba, but there's going to be a TP, and it's a little too late for mid. Tech9 is right there, running away, not giving a care. Oof. Now let's take a look at the Medusa with the, belt of strength. Ah, just a little tad bit too late from Gree. Unable to help out the Medusa from the Kanka. Kind of feels like B-Jack Honeydew doesn't seem to be on point with the spears just yet. So it kind of feels like there's not too much going on just yet. Oh, before I forget this game as well, let's go ahead and swap over to the net worth. Ooh, with a little bit of a surprise, we do have Kanka on top of the net worth, but the surprise is actually Sean with the Ninth Stalker in second place. Oh, out comes the Poison Touch. They're going to go ahead and use a Void. Out comes the Crippling Fear. They're trying to do some damage to Mapjets there, but a quick God's Rebuke, unable to go ahead and sustain himself, and he is dropped. And I believe it was due to the Poison Touch, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of feels like it was due to the Poison Touch, or a right click of sorts. Now, given how the state of the game is going at the moment, kind of feels like Kunkka was able to go ahead and put enough pressure to kick the Medusa out of lane, which is what I can see at the moment. If you go ahead and take a look at the minimap, let's go ahead and visit Rob Boss real quick. And Rob Boss finished up the power treads. Ooh, he does have a broom handle available. Not something that he's going to be needing. But he's going to go ahead and try to not deal with this Kunkka. Really focusing on trying to farm the side camps that are near the lanes. So giving up the lane but trying to defend it is what the Medusa is going to be aiming for. Okay, out goes the Mystic Snake. Oh, the Exat marks the spot. There's the Torrent with the boat. And oh, unfortunate. Did not have the Mana Shield up to go ahead and save himself. Ooh, that is going to be costly. Over on the top, though, it feels like B-Jack Honeydew went down a little too easily. And Nai was like, hey, you're not going down alone, but I'll join you. Over in the offline, we do have Welshie. It seems to be focusing on trying to make sure that this Drow doesn't get too much farm, but kind of feels like it's not that he isn't doing his thing. It just doesn't feel like they're getting any game going on. Like, it kind of feels like they focused on the wrong hero a little bit. Oh, out comes a little Shredder. There is the Plasma Field. Oh no, and that Snapfire Cookie was able to go ahead and stun him, and that multi-shot from the Drow was able to go ahead and send him back to base in a casket. You know, that Fire Snap Cookie is just, oh. Naya was there for the help, but given how well she was that low, it wasn't good. Okay, so right now Drow seems to be accelerating her farm just a little bit, just enough to be able to do something with it. Alright, Raw Boss is going to be threatened at the moment from this damn stupid Math Jets and Kunkka. You know, we're going to have some reactionary TPs coming in. Welshi and Gree trying to find Tech 9. They're able to go ahead and get some Mortimer Kisses. Out comes the boat. Misses on everybody. That Mortimer Kisses are just absolutely just smacking everything. Out comes the arena. Oh, Sean has shown up, putting some damage onto Welshi. But that arena and that missed spear is a missed opportunity to go ahead and get Tech 9, who's going to go ahead and take down Gree real quick. We do see Sean just hunting down Raw Boss, and there's the X marks the spot. They're going to go ahead and give themselves an easy team fight win, favoring Team Ember, and they're going to go ahead and exit this area and go ahead and just take the win. You know, they are really putting the pressure onto Pot of Greed at the moment. Pot of Greed is just like in that moment where they're like, oh no, we have to figure something out. They need to figure something out right now. I don't know what it is, but it feels like they need to get Naya on the same page as with the rest of the team. And what I mean by that, I mean just like, hey, we need you to roll with us. You know, it doesn't seem to be that they're... I'll phrase it like this, so that way it doesn't upset anybody too much. Naya is one small step behind. And I don't know what's going on, but it feels like they're not on the same page. Or maybe they're trying out this new team comp, and they're just not on the same page just yet. Alright, out comes the plasma field. There's a static link. There is the gust to go ahead and slow him down. But my lord, that multi-shot in that little shredder absolutely decimates Welshi. And oh, I don't know if he saw that coming, but Naya was like, I don't want to die. So I just got wards. They need to take advantage of this. From the looks of things, it is pretty much split push this game as best as they can and put all their eggs in the same basket for their Medusa and Raw Boss. Get that man his necessary items for this game, and they can go ahead and easily crawl back into it. Oh my. Okay. I see what they're doing there. Okay, so they're going to be roaming down here on this 4. They have found Revamp. Out comes the Plasma Field. They threw the spear to go ahead and stun him up with the Fire Snap Cookie and was dragged back in. Oh, that was a fun little interaction there. Tried to get out of it, and boom, was unable to do so. So they're going to go ahead and drop the Serpent Wars in the middle of the tree, so that way it's a little bit more difficult to get at if anybody TP'd on in. And if they did, they were going to TP on in a whole bunch of Serpent Wards that were just going to go ahead and just annihilate them. Okay. And so this is more or less what Pot of Greed need to do. By doing this, they're giving themselves a chance and Raw Boss to go ahead and protect their triangle, farm up a bit, and do what they need to do to give themselves a fighting chance for a win. But if we go ahead and peek on over to Sean, Sean's almost there with his Spirit Vessel. He's about 160 some odd gold away. He did put a lot of pressure on the tier 2, but it doesn't seem like he was able to go ahead and take full advantage of the creep waves that was with him. So it doesn't seem like seeing this much damage on tier 2 is going to be that bad. So Pot of Greed should go ahead and count their blessings in that. You know, we all know Night Stalker's not exactly a pusher. He's more of a ganker, of course, but still. Okay. Let's take a look. See, Blade Mail is in the quick buy. B-Jack Honeydew is looking for that Blink Dagger. A little surprised, given that if they can go ahead and use a Yule's, you know, they can quickly negate the Night Stalker. Oh, here we go. Here's the shackle. There's a spear with the arena. Quick little Mystic Snake. They have him hexed up a bit, but oh man, he is just a little bit too tanky. Having that Spirit Vessel and everything. Out comes the Gaze, but the Snapfire, this Mortimer Kisses was able to go ahead and take out the Mars. But man, Tech 9 does not care whatsoever. Out comes the Fissure. They have him stuck in this area, and the Serpent Wars and everything got them all stuck in one small place. Oh my lord, what was looking to be an easy 3-on-1 gank turns into a fracking disaster of sorts that led to 4 dying. Poor Robboss going, what the hell am I supposed to do over here, guys, when you're all trapping yourselves in with the freaking Serpent Wards? Oh man, there was not a single person on that high ground to go ahead and cover the escape route of Tech 9, and Tech 9's like, I'm gonna go ahead and take out this one Serpent Ward and walk away and kite you guys. Oh man, what was supposed to be really good for them just turned into a fracking disaster. All right. Oh. Nice little observer ward there. Out of the range. They're getting glimpses of Naya and Robboss. So they have an idea where Robboss is at. Oh man. That little nerf on... Oh, they're trying to make a Shadow Blade. Okay. That little nerf on Sentry wards a little whiles ago. Not so good. Oh, well, she's throwing out the Plasma Field. Trying to put some threat into this. Blink Dagger is still on the mind for Gree. He isn't that far away, about 400 gold or so. I'm pretty sure they have eyes on Robboss at this point. They have to. Alright, oh, ultimate. Oh, she got the Manta now. So this is going to be very interesting to see how the game plays out a little more. Pot of Greed kind of feels like they want to play the map accordingly. So if that was to be the case, I feel that taking a mid tower would be an easy step, and then trying to see if they can go ahead and find themselves a way to gain back control some portion of around Roshan. Alright, we do have... Oh, out comes the Fissure. Dazzle's the one with the Meteor Hammer. They're going to go ahead and use the Dark Ascension here. Out comes the Spirit. Misses. Ah, there's the Echo Slam, but man, Tech 9 is still surviving. That Gaze, that was easy to go ahead and get the kill on. Oh my gosh, and the great TP from the Drow again. Oh my gosh. They were able to go ahead and find the kill onto the Dazzle. Poor Map Jets, and Sean is in full retreat mode thanks to his Dark Ascension. Not only that, I believe, let's see here, Snapfire did TP on out, Night Snarker walked away, Drow TP'd in front of everyone while in the middle of the arena. It's like, hey, I'm cool. So talk about a team fight that was looking pretty, I'll put it this way, it did not look like it was a good start for the side of Team Ember, and Pot of Greed went ahead and took advantage of it. Alright, they're going to go ahead and commit some Serpent Wards on the top lane right here to see if they can do some damage. Tech 9 is showing up and saying, hey, we got some Medusa illusions to clear out, boys. They're going to go ahead and clear that out quickly. Same thing with the Serpent Wards. And so you didn't lose too much. It's unfortunate that it's going to be down for another 90 seconds. And as well as giving up your Serpent Wards to the Snapfire and Revamp. A Revamp going to be like, hey, got some free gold. You know, some half creep kills. You know, in terms of gold, I believe like 30 or 10 gold per ward. They are smoked up a bit. So they're trying to see who they can catch out of place. Gree with a quick blink. Smoke has not broken yet. They have their eyes set on these heroes. Oh, thanks to that ward, here comes the ship, and the X marks the spot. The snap, no, the Mortimer kisses. Oh, and the long walk around was able to go ahead and finish the job onto Rob Boss. Oh, well, she unable to do anything to help out right there. Same thing with Greed. They could not make enough distance for Rob Boss to escape. Oh. Well, she's sticking around just a little bit too long. There's the poison touch and then a lot of slows. Out comes the arena. There is the gust. No follow-up, but the torrent is right on there to mess up B-Jack Honeydew. Out comes the Fisher to go ahead and stun Pi in Cuba, but nothing to really follow up too much with. There's a Hex. Naya throwing out a bit of a shock. But man, that Night Stalker doesn't care right now. He's going to go ahead and probably was attempting to dive in the back line, but so strong as a frontliner that he just arguably doesn't care. He's just going to keep running around. Oh, the Dark Ascension is almost over. Thank goodness for phase boots, but that blink forward and the miss, unable to keep that man on their side of the wall. So yeah. Oof. Having one of those moments where you're trying to say the word and it doesn't want to come out. Immediately regret my decision. Oh, come on, man. Alright. Oh, so he is opting for the Mystic Snake for the Ags. Okay. Maybe trying to see... Oh. Man, I haven't seen a meme hammer dazzle, so... Oh, there's a Shadow Blade. Out comes the X marks the spot with the Ghost Ship. Quickly using... Oh, and a great blink in with the Echo Slam. They're going to see if they can get some cleanup because the Gaze is out. The arena is down. Can they go ahead and do anything with it? No, they can't because that Crippling Fear messed up the combination for B-Jack Honeydew, who's going to go ahead and stand his ground, throw out that spear. But while she's trying to right-click away, the Eye of the Storm trying to do something, and then the Meteor Hammer landing on the both of them, and oh, just making this team fight completely fall apart for Pot of Greed. And here's the worst part for them. The creep wave is on top of their tier 3. And they're going to go ahead and siege away, not caring whatsoever. This Rax looks like it's going to be going down little by little. They already committed so many of their ultis. They do have Serpent Wards available, but all they can do is watch and sit back because they can't run in 5 versus 3. Oh, talk about having a disastrous fight. And it kind of feels like they're going to go ahead and turn it around and walk directly into Roche Pit right now. They took a Rax in mid. They're putting some good pressure on the top lane a little bit by not just yet. They took away a lot of the farm. I'll put it that way. Oop, taking away vision now. That's what you got to do as well. When you're going to go ahead and try to get Roche, take away vision, put yourself in a good spot and position, and make sure that they are not in the greatest of terms. Boom. So Team Ember is doing everything that they possibly can to go ahead and take advantage of everything. Oh, a Diffusal Blade on the draw. That's even nicer, you know. Let's see here. Okay. So now they're going to go ahead and try to crank it up a bit. So you do have a lot of vision in their jungle. Yeah, if you're going to be like a shark, you know, you got to go ahead and try to hunt down these people and be like, okay, we know where they're at. We smell blood. You got to end the game. So if you want to be a shark, this is your moment. Your window's right here at this very big opportunity. Right, Red Toto. And the sprays are coming down. Okay, so that was an easy top tier 2 tower. Didn't need much to invest. Pot of Greed on the other side of the map, though. They're going to go ahead and try to take this tier 2 tower without losing too much resources. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case because right now Team Ember is going to throw everything at this. right now. They're investing Tech 9 as a frontliner. He's going to go to throw out the Torrent. It's not going to land on anything. Blink forward with the Echo Slam. Out comes the Gaze. They have the wards down. He is shackled up. And, oh my gosh, Sean was able to go ahead and escape this with a Dark Ascension. Ooh, this is not going to go well so far because the Mortimer Kisses is coming out. And, well, can he survive this? No, he cannot. Oh, man. And the easy cleanup from Sean. Out comes the Fissure, throwing out the Mystic Snake one more time. They're going to go ahead and cast down the Torrent, have the Medusa up in the air, the Spear to keep him away, but the Dark Ascension helping Sean to catch in the back line, and down goes Gree. All right. Oh, and B-Jack Honeydew showing up just in time using the God's Rebuke, trying to see if they can get Sean right now. Oh my gosh, that Shallow Grave was able to help him out just a tad bit on the TP out, but and was unable to keep him alive long enough for the TP to finish. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw a Hex there. Or the Shallow Grave ran out just in time for him to die. Ooh. You want to talk about a high ground defense? That was a really nice one. So Team Ember committed a lot for it, and the unfortunate part was they got nothing out of it. Thankfully, they did not lose their tier 2 tower on the bottom lane, because if they did, that would have been something that would have made them cry a little bit, because that's not exactly something you want to see. Alright, you know, having these sprays all over the place is really nice. I was kind of hoping that they would that you spray them once and you get like a cooldown, and then you can go ahead and spray them one more time again. You know, like have a total of 3 sprays out on the map at one time, and you can rotate through them. Would be really nice and neat. But I don't think they have sprays coded that way. I think it's once you spray once, it goes down, and you spray again, it goes down in that next spot. So, all right. Little anti-rat Dota wards right there. Just so they can get some good vision. Throwing out some more sentries as well to go ahead and make sure that there's nothing to really give information for the Radiant side in Team Ember. Okay. Excellent job in trying to find... Not trying to find, but an excellent job sweeping across the Dire Jungle. Out comes the Fissure. Out comes the Arena one more time. The Dark Ascension being used. Oh man, those Mortimer Kisses. That Spirit Vessel. Out comes the Spear to go ahead and chuck Sean backwards. There is the Meteor Hammer one more time. The Silence messing up with this Medusa. They're using the wards. The Torrent was on point. Out comes the Plasma Field, and that crippling Silence just being absolutely... Oh, and Gree with a blink forward and a miss on the Echo Slam. Tech 9 is right there with the Shallow Grave. It's just standing his ground. Rob Boss trying to do his best to do everything he possibly can. Oh, and Aegis being reclaimed. The buyback from Rob Boss coming forward. Sean trying to eliminate Naya, and does so. Rob Boss being the lone wolf here without B-Jack Honeydew. They're going to go ahead and try to fight this out as best as they possibly can. 2 on 5. A 22k net worth lead for Team Ember, and they're just looking to finish this. They're on the tier 4s. There's no buybacks available. Gree's going to be up in this less than a second. He's going to be moving forward. The Mystic Snake. Oh, and there is the Crippling Fear. The blink forward from B-Jack Honeydew trying to help out. All right, there's the Ghost Ship landing on the Rob Boss, and they're trying to eliminate this stupid damn Medusa. Out comes the Arena, isolating these 2 fights in different areas, and unfortunate that Gree could not help out his Medusa. Now we got 1 buyback available for Mars, but they're going to call out the GG. Game 1 goes to Team Ember, and oh, this has to be by far one of the more entertaining wins for Team Ember, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and knock it over to the transition real quick. And there's the Luma wipe. Yeah. Anyways, so that was game 1. We're going to have game 2 coming up for you soon, if I am not mistaken. Now let me go ahead and just check on over real quick. Alrighty, so we're gonna have a small little tiny break from the looks of things. Probably a few minutes. Before game 2 kicks up, so. In the meanwhile, let me go ahead and play some music, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself some tea. Small little break. Okay. So it looks like we got game 2 underway. Or at least the drafting phase of it. But before we do, let me go ahead and do a little bit more coverage or recap of what's happening in the DPC arena. So I already covered the South America scene a little bit. So we're going to move on to the North America scene. Something that I'm a little bit more familiar with. Now, let's see. Now, if you were watching what happened yesterday, we had 2 upper division games between EG and Undying, as well as Sad Boys versus Quincy Crew. I'm not sure how else to describe those 2 games other than complete, utter stompage. You know, we're talking about the elite of the elite. Okay, when it comes to EG and Quincy Crew and Undying. All right. Undying did lose a series, and I believe they lost it to EG. All right. So between the 2 teams, EG and QC, we have 2 undefeated teams heading into week 6. Oh, sorry. Heading into this Sunday. EG versus Quincy Crew is the big draw, as one would say. The big draw for this Sunday. The main event of the evening. Or the co-main event. Because really, the way things are scheduled, if I am not mistaken, all right, they are going to be, yeah, the co-main event of the evening. EG versus Quincy Crew. They're going to be the co-main event of the evening this Sunday. And don't miss it, folks. You're going to have a blast watching those 2 absolutely tear each other apart. At least that's how I feel is going to happen. Undying seems to be one of those teams that's on the cusp of becoming becoming a tier 1 squad, in my opinion. And then we got Quincy Crew, who has been going back and forth between being the best team in NA when EG wasn't around to being the second best team, going back and forth, teetering between 1 and 1A to 1.5. You know, it's just one of those situations for Quincy Crew that you just can't seem to put it all together at the very right moment where they're all clicking together. But if it was anything just like Season 1 for the DPC, we're going to have one hell of a fight going on this Sunday. But the big main event of the evening for Sunday for the NA DPC, it's going to be Dogchamp versus Arkosh Gaming. Yes, you heard me. Team Dogchamp versus Arkosh Gaming. That's going to be your main event for the NADPC Season 2 in the Division 2. And you're probably asking yourselves, why? Well, everything everything is on the line for these 2 teams. Okay, Team Dogchamp barely missed out getting into Division 1 last season. Arkosh Gaming was showing signs of complete discombobulation at the wrong moments, even though they felt like a team that can make their way into Division 1 last season. So they had a few missteps, and this season so far, they haven't had much of a misstep. They have 2 more series remaining for the rest of this season. The first series is going to be with Dogchamp. The second one is going to be with 5-Man Midas. If Arkosh finds a way to beat Dogchamp this upcoming Sunday for the main event, and they have their hands in their destiny and win against 5-Man Midas, they are more or less punching a ticket to the first division for the next season of the NADPC. They're going to be a Division 1 team. And if you have been checking out the D2 Hustlers, all right, they have a lot to prove this week not this week, but next week. I wouldn't say a lot to prove, but a good amount to prove that they have to take on Dog Champ on May 18th to go ahead and secure their trip to Division 1. So they can finally become the D1 Hustlers. Alright. Anyways, that's my little advertisement for the NADPC that I've been watching quite closely. But if you've been hearing in the background, some drafting's been going on. So, Game 2 is underway for the Season 6 PAC playoffs. We're in the lower bracket, and it's going to be Team Ember versus Pot of Greed. Coming up next.
Night Stalker.
Okay, that was a long enough break. Anyways, so here we go. We're in Game 2 for the best of 3 series between Pot of Greed and Team Ember. Right here, right now, for the PAC Season 6 playoffs. Alright, so in Game 1, it was very, very impressive for Team Ember to go ahead and dismantle Pot of Greed a bit. The last pick for Pot of Greed ended up being a Mars that they gave to B-Jack Honeydew, which didn't seem to play out too well in the long run. But we shall see how the drafting phase will go along in this game. So once more, the Team Ember took away an Axe and the Brewmaster. So they didn't want to give not Rob Boss. They didn't want to give Welshie too much comfort. And in response, Pot of Greed took away the Juggernaut and the Dazzle. So they don't want to see Dazzle from Game 1 again, from the looks of things. Because Dazzle was pulling off some great shallow graves. Some, like here or there, wasn't exactly on point just yet, but they were pretty okay, if not pretty damn on point. Okay. So no fooling around from Pot of Greed. They missed out on the first phase of getting Centaur Warrunner, and instead it got banned out in the second phase. So they're gonna go ahead and immediately pick up the Centaur in the first phase. Team Ember once again opens up with the Night Stalker. They were probably looking for a Dazzle pick, but well, the Dazzle was immediately banned out, so not entirely sure what they're going to go with right now. Putting a lot of time and investment into their thoughts. They're eating up quite a bit of their reserve time at the moment. And I think they want a really good pairing for Night Stalker, if not a really nice 5. So Grimstroke is one of those 5s that was and still is super popular. Maybe a Lion? Ooh. No, they're going to opt in for a Warlock. Now, if you've been paying attention recently, and especially in the in the upper echelon of the NA Dota scene, okay, like no joke, hands down, Warlock has been one of those heroes that everybody's been trying to get their hands on if you're a position 5 player. Warlock is incredibly good right now. So they went ahead and took away the Phantom Lancer as well as Clinks. They don't want to give B-Jack Honeydew too many comfort heroes. All right. In response, Pot of Greed took away the Lifestealer and the Wraith King, which are both very, very good counters to Centaur Warrunner. One hero that I would like to see get banned out just for safety reasons, especially for Pot of Greed, is to go ahead and take away the Timbersaw. So that way the Timbersaw doesn't mess further with your matchup, especially in your Centaur Warrunner. You know, like Centaur is a strength hero. It opens up a little bit more options. Oh, interesting. They went ahead and took out the Troll Warlord. Okay. And oh my lord. You want to talk about having one hell of a surprise. for tonight, this evening, folks, we're getting a Techies game. Oh man, I'm pretty sure those who are watching right now are probably kicking themselves in the feet going, oh my god, we're gonna deal with the Techies right now. Oh well. Alrighty. Did Slacks all of a sudden just decide to show up in this game? It's like, move on over, I'm playing for you guys. I'm just messing. Anyway, so I haven't seen a Techies being played by Pot of Greed. So this is going to be very interesting to see. And honestly, I would not be surprised if they went ahead and grabbed themselves a Tiny mid, because Tiny works really well with Techies. You know, Techie stands on top of his mines, Tiny shows up and just tosses them to Techies. Techies go ahead and just blow himself up next. Ooh, Bloodseeker. Intriguing. All right, so they got some silence going on in the Techies and the Bloodseeker. They have a very nice stun in the Centaur Warrunner. They do have another great silence in Grimstroke as well with the Phantom Embrace. The Soulbind makes it even more fun in team fights if you go ahead and land that on top of the Bloodseeker. Not only that, that really helps negate the Night Stalker in team fights. If you can go ahead and land a Soulbind and a Rupture on top of them. So you have two heroes that can't really be moving in all of these fights. Even though you do have a Warlock, you're trying to aim for that that sweet spot moment around the 20 to 30 minute mark if you're Pot of Greed with this kind of lineup, where you're just knocking on the door for the high ground defense and be like, okay, we want you to drop your golem so we can go ahead and back away, or at least try to catch a Warlock out of base in the wrong moment, so that they can go ahead and just break down the walls for the high ground defense. Eek. Okay, there's a drow. Okay. So Mirana is really nice for various reasons. Obviously for Moonlight Shadow to go ahead and hide people around, but that doesn't really mean much when you have a Techies and a Bloodseeker running around the map. If you have a Techies, you gotta worry about the mines. You also have to keep an eye on him at all times. Make sure you can find him on the map at all times. So your warding has to be pretty on point, just to make sure you know where the hell he is, or at least have an idea of where he can be. And given the fact that Mirana is naturally one of those heroes that helps your team more or less use the treating paths, don't be surprised if Techies starts mining in weird areas of the map where he's just like chucking down mines in the tree paths, you know, especially on pushes. That's going to be like absolutely detrimental. So they went ahead and took away the Nature's Prophet because the tree ants really destroy the Techies mines. They took away the Kunkka because Kunkka was giving Rob Boss in the last game a lot of issues in Tech 9, and no Zeus and no Storm Spirit. Puck is available. I don't feel like Puck is going to be a very good matchup for Viper, but when you take a look at how Puck is in this meta, I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed with Puck. Puck is actually really nice to have. Not to mention that coil really forces players to be stuck in the Blood Rite ritual with a Bloodseeker. Great for Centaur Warrunner as well. You can go ahead and use your Stampede, run on in, use coil, finish him up, Grimstroke ult and so forth and whatnot with a Soulbind, throw down the Rupture, Waning Rift. You have more silences on top of that. You have there's just too much you can play off of. And holy hell, we got Sniper. Okay, you want to talk about toxic? This is toxic. We got Tech 9. He's going to be playing Viper. If you're a sniper in this game, you are pretty much looking for a way to make space between you and the Viper. you know Tech 9's coming at you. All right. So Sean's going to be back on his very, very comfortable Night Stalker from last game. Tech9 is going to be on the Viper. Revamp will be the 5 in playing this really kick-ass set of Warlock. And then we got Pine Cuba on the Drow Ranger, especially from last game. And then Math Jets is going to be rounding out the team with this Marana. On the side of Pot of Greed, we got Gree on the Grimstroke, who's going to be the 4? Or the 5? It's... Well, okay. If I'm going to say anything right now, it's going to be a kill lane. Naya and Gree together with B-Jack Honeydew. They're just going to run at whomever's in their lane. Because, like, honestly, who wouldn't? You got Welshi on the Centaur War Runner. Naya's going to be playing the Techies. Robos is the Sniper, who's most likely going to be playing mid, matching up against the Viper. B-Jack Honeydew is going to be on the Bloodseeker. And honestly, when you have this kind of team together, or at least this kind of lineup in front of you, I believe what you're going to be looking for and aiming for in lane, especially if Naim is going to be playing the 5 with a Bloodseeker, and if Grimstroke is going to be there as well in Gree, you need to go ahead and focus just one hero and kill them twice in lane and ruin their game. That's all you have to look for. After that, it is simple basic rotations and leave the Bloodseeker alone. And it's also important to go ahead and give Bloodseeker those kills. So I believe that is going to be your win condition. Oops. There we go. There we go. Alright, so if we're just going to look at the win conditions, okay, it's slightly in favor of POG already. I'm telling you, this lineup can do it. They just need to be very aggressive and run at people if they're going to go ahead and do it right. Or at least, quote-unquote, do it right. Okay. Centaur, I believe, is just one of those heroes that gives you that kind of edge. Bloodseeker's really good against this lineup as well. But don't count out this damn Warlock. Warlock changes so much in team fights. You can't let Revamp get to level 25 either. Okay, here's the reason why. Let's see, where are you? Is it over here? Oh, never mind. Just don't get to the 20-minute mark. I'm kidding. The Aghanim Shard, the Shadow Word, turns into a 450 AoE spell. So there's more or less nothing you can really do about it after the 20-minute mark. You just kind of have to ruin the Warlock's game as much as you possibly can in lane, so he can't farm up 1400 gold, especially if you're going to be a 5 support. All right, we got a lot of action going on. Out comes the Shrapnel to go ahead and zone out Pi and Cuba. Go ahead and secure themselves some runes. All right. Great job from Naya to go ahead and sneak on across over here to drop down 1 Vision Ward. They threw out 1 Sentry. Really nice place to go ahead and drop it down. And oh no, already Revamp is looking for that. Yep. Okay, so it feels like Naya needs to go ahead and reinvest into getting themselves a Sentry. Ooh, they denied it right off the bat. So it feels like Revamp, if he wants to go ahead and make sure that this lane goes well, he needs to go ahead and stand over there. Alrighty. Nice little lift off there. Oh. Yikes. Okay. I think I found out real fast that Tech9 is going to be going at him. Alright, because that's all you really have to do is just run at the sniper if you're Viper. Throw out another toxin and a few poison attacks, and you're kind of really bad at spot. Ooh. Ooh, I did not see that earlier. Alright. So Tech9 did notice that Raw Boss threw down a ward over here, and that is probably one of the biggest and most important wards that you can go ahead and grab. Okay, if you are the Dire or the Radiant. And to tell you the truth, that this warding spot is like absolutely insane. Like, you need to use it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need to use it because it's in such an area of the map that there's so much, especially if you're in high competitive games, this area of the map is so well traveled that you need to ward it. Okay. And I'm not gonna say this area as well just yet, even though it feels like that is. Oh. Okay, throwing down some mines, and Naya trying to be as annoying as they possibly can. As you can see already, they already were able to scout out the Bloodseeker courier right off the bat. That's why it's so important to go ahead and throw down that ward. Because a lot of the players are just, especially just depending on where you're at. Because B-Jack Honeydew was so far up that the courier naturally took that route to get to him, instead of staying in lane and doing the longer way. So if you're a player out there, just especially if you're a pause 1 player, try to keep that in mind when you're calling the courier. Okay. Now you just went ahead and gave yourself a blind spot. And here is Mafjets trying to throw that arrow, which it does land. That looks like a full duration arrow. They're going to go ahead and try to kill Raw Boss. He's going to be saying goodnight. He almost was able to go ahead and dodge that, but didn't move out of the way just yet. It is taken down. Oh. Little tricks like that. You know, once you throw out one arrow, go ahead and use it again one more time. Use some clarities. Just take away these big creeps from the mid player. Really helps you out, right? You have sight on Raw Boss one more time. One more kill will go ahead and secure how bad this lane's going to be for him. And there we go, one more time. All right, so Tech9 and Mafjets, they have officially secured the mid lane where Sniper doesn't have a game anymore, more or less. All right. So it's starting to come down to Naya and Welshi in figuring out a way. Okay. Figuring out a way where they need to slow down Pi in Cuba and revamp from taking over this game. All right, so mid lane's more or less lost. The only way you can really recover from this is trying to force Tech9 to make rotations. Okay, like you can see right here, this is like a good trade if you're Welshi, if you can catch out revamp in a bad area. Okay, this is something that you need to do. Oh, the multi-shot's coming out to slow him down. The frost arrows are doing their thing. The shadow word is just absolutely destroying Welshi. And he used his salve to try to save himself just a tad bit. Couldn't get out of the way of the fatal bonds, though. It just instantly killed his salve. Damage was being incurred way too much. All right. Okay, so Raw Boss is going to be going with the faithful strat of stack camps for yourself and shrapnel them to death. Okay, so you're most likely, and will be very much so, sacrificing your middle tower there. And, ooh, that little big creep did survive. Interesting. So right now, Mafjets is going to be roaming in this whole entire area, so if he does see the sniper coming back in lane, that's something for him to go ahead and be like, okay, I need to get this kill. Right, B-Jack Honeydew is well on his way for getting his phase boots, so it's not entirely too awful for him, but let's go ahead and take a look at the net worth. Oh my gosh, that's not good. Out comes the Inkswell, they miss with the Blood Right, they're going to go ahead and try to get Sean. Out comes the Stroke of Fate. Man, Sean's going to go ahead and try to fight this, but man, I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this Bloodseeker, who has 3 points in his thirst. Out comes the Blood Right. Alright, he misses a little bit, but he's going to get the kill anyways. Oh, and a really slow rotation from Tech9. Alright. Oh, at least I think it's a slow rotation. Oh, he's going to go ahead and use a double damage rune. Oh, that's not nice. Was able to go ahead and do that. Okay, so but in the top lane area, we're going to go ahead and see Mafjets rotating slowly. Oh, he's going to probably get, yeah, it is Arcane Boots. Give some mana to the Warlock. Probably needs it a little bit. Does use it. We have Pine Cuba in a really good spot.
Denied.
Oh, out comes the arrow and misses completely. Welshi trying to fight in the right angle, gets the stomp down. Out comes the double edge. Naya thinking about it but refuses to do so. You can't stick around any any much longer, because if he committed with a blast off, he is definitely dying for sure in that fight. 3-on-2, no backup whatsoever. Pretty bad. But Welshi, on the other hand, needs to come down bottom. He gets a great stomp. Out comes the rupture. Sean's in a lot of trouble. Sean never realized he was ruptured, and he dies as he keeps moving. B-Jack Honeydew being really happy with that. We got some I wouldn't say BM going, but we do have some Arcot Gaming voice lines and tipping going on. All right, so Naya right now seems to be more or less in the content area of, let me see if I can go ahead and get this drow to come on in. All right. Using the soul ring, putting down some mines. So he's protected himself in this whole entire area. So if the drow tries to decide to walk on in, she's going to get hit by one mine. I think one hit from Naya secures the kill, but a quick blast off will more or less bring this Pine Cuba in a terrible spot. But, oh my. Welshi, why were you over there in the mid lane? You almost have Vanguard. Okay, anyways. So we have a lot of things going on at the moment. Okay, great. Trying to bring back the wave just a little bit. But we're going to have 3 converging onto B-Jack Honeydew. He's going to instantly TP, but that Void takes him away from getting it. All right, they're going to leap forward. They have 3. Oh, they have help from Welshi coming on in. The Inkswell will land just in time. All right, out comes the Stampede to see if he can find himself Sean, but he needs to walk away. Sean's just absolutely right-clicking onto Welshi. Out comes the Nether Toxin as well to go ahead and secure the kill. Gree's going to be TPing away, and the Warlock was here for funsies. Oof, this is not good at all. While all of that was happening, all right, Techies did die in all of this, but where did he die is the question. Oh, he TP'd bottom. That's what happened. Okay. And I guess that wasn't a kill, more or less. I think that was a blast off suicide, maybe. No, that was definitely not a blast off suicide. He got killed by Sean, so. Anywho's. All right, so you are looking at a situation where you need to go ahead and try to figure out what is necessary and what is needed. All right, you have a drow that you need to deal with that is going to be running at your team with a big, nasty Night Stalker and a Viper. So I believe your main purpose right now, if you're techies, is you want to go ahead and try to protect this triangle and try to converge into getting this whole entire area to be a no-no zone for anybody to walk on. And so throwing down mines, pushing the lane is something that you're going to be looking for. Taking out this tower is your main priority, while keeping an eye on this whole entire top area as well. Okay. So we have Welshi trying to get it away from Tech 9, who has a haste rune. You know, that's not going to be great. Ooh. They're going to go ahead and trigger some of the mines already. Oh, the proximity mine. Oh, they're triggering them. Oh, stroke of fate. This is like one of those areas of the game where you're just like, okay, as long as Naya doesn't show himself just yet, he can get into these backlines and really force something out. There's one Soulbind. Out comes the Phantom Embrace. Well, she does not have Stampede. Oh, they got some double ruptures going on. They took out the Drow. Can they finish the job onto Tech 9? And they're able to do so. Yikes. And what set up that play was the fact that Naya was throwing down all these mines and proximity mines as well. Shame. Was throwing down all these proximity mines and regular mines all over the place, which more or less gave them. Oh, out comes the arrow. They need to. They need to watch out for that arrow. That more or less, I wouldn't say confused, but put too much on the plate for Team Ember to look at and be like, okay, we got a lot of things going on here right now. We got to kill whatever we got around us, because if they engage on us, we're going to be in a very bad spot for escape routes, which actually did happen given a Soulbind was thrown down onto the Drow, you know, and, you know, Pi and Cuba wasn't too happy about it. So he's all the way down here doing the same build that he did last game. Try to go ahead and get his Dragon Lance and then move on to the Yasha. Out comes the Rupture. Here comes the Stampede. The Inkswell is right there. Can they land it? Ooh, they were able to do so, but out comes the Golem. The Fatal Bonds is coming out, if I'm not mistaken. Already used. They're going to go ahead and try to get this kill, but oh man, B-Jack Honeydew is unable to do anything right now. Ooh, that Nether Toxin and that break just absolutely ruined everything. The Inkswell is on Rob Boss. Can he go ahead and get it to land on Sean? Wasn't able to move in range, but mine was able to go ahead and take out Map Jets, who is really unhappy with this. But Sean trying to do something at the last moment. That Dark Ascension, very, very nasty. The Inkswell is right there to go ahead and protect himself. But the night is over from the Dark Ascension, and the Grimstroke able to walk away. But Bloodseeker, on the other hand, has something else in mind. He sees a very, very dead Sean, and he's going to go ahead and throw out the Blood Right. Going to go ahead and try to walk him down with the right clicks, but that nasty Shadow Word is just keeping him alive. But never mind, out comes the Soulbind one more time. All right, they're going to go ahead and try to knock down 3 because, oh, there's the mines and the proximity mines one more time. Oh, the Bloodseeker has enough running power to go ahead and get down Map Jets, who is ruptured and can't move for the time being. Who's going to go ahead and try right-clicking him down, but nothing is able to save him, even with a creep wave. Oh boy, 441. Well, actually, was that 441? Yeah, I believe that was a 441. So, Pot of Greed is absolutely executing what they need to do right now and try to take the advantages of the overextending plays from certain players. Sean was definitely overextended on that play over here in the T2 area, diving way too far to be greedy and try to get the Grimstroke and Gree. And Gree's like, hey, I'm just going to keep on walking. You know, great plays on punishing overextension. The Maelstrom is made on Bloodseeker. Probably needs to go ahead and grab himself BKB, maybe? I'm not sure if it's too early for it, but BKB is in... Oh, landing the arrow onto Map Jets, and oh my gosh. You know, poor B-Jack Honeydew. That was a 3-time killing spree. Oh, that's just unfortunate. But they did end up getting the mid tower, which was not denied. So that is some good news. So let's see here. Yeah, well, she was able to go ahead and grab that tower. All right, so the Vanguard is, oh, almost have Blink. That's even better for Centaur Warrunner right now. Man. You know, that Blink is going to be super helpful against this team. Great initiation and great for everything as well, for escape, for initiation, like I mentioned before. Able to go ahead and just create absolute chaos following up with the Stampede. Just a quick blink in, stomp, Stampede, run all over the place, slow down the heroes that are necessary that you need to go ahead and grab. And again, it's a lot of like good news so far. All right, Naya has been slowly mining up certain areas of the map, if I'm not mistaken. Was able to go ahead and throw down some wards, and I believe this is, oh, does it say who it belongs to? Pretty sure it's supposed to say who it belongs to. I believe these seems to be like the movements from the techies, though. All right, so they're throwing down some great vision. All right, they got rid of one, but they don't know that there's a second one up top in that area as well. Let's see here. This isn't deny range for the tower. It's up to them to figure out if they want to deny it now or if they want to go ahead and use it as a defense point, or at least... Oh, unable to deny it. Got some warning mines in place. They're throwing down some remote mines as well. Oh, they have one stuck there. Not enough to kill. Out comes the blood right. Oh. walked up for it. Oh, there's the blast off and misses completely. Ooh, Naya really wanted that kill on the Warlock. So we have a bit of a lull at the moment. I am not going to hit those graphs, but this net worth has been evening out just a little bit after these team fights. What was a demanding lead for Tech 9, right? With the help of the Marana and Meth Jets, it just like completely ruined the sniper game. And after all these team fights, Rob Boss completely rotating in the triangle and just being at the right place at the right time kind of thing really helped himself get back into this game. He you know, they just like, oh, they have a rotation going on in top. They're going to be throwing down some wards, obviously. They're smoked up. All right, those are not wards of Naya. They are Grease wards. Okay. So nice little rotations. They were able to go ahead and get in and get out with a smoke rotation. Moving on in, moving on out. So they're not detected and they don't randomly show up out of nowhere. Sentries are being placed. Oh, they do know they have one ward there. I don't know if they remember that there is an observer ward on top of there as well. Is it in range? Yes, it is in range. Oh. Ah, that middle tower. Okay, so it's, I want to say, a game of cat and mouse at this point. Okay. Rob Boss keeps showing himself in mid. He's pushing out and not going further than he needs to be. There's a ward right here that basically scouts out where he's going to be rotating to if they can find a good angle on him. Not to mention, we have Revamp over here with the Meteor Hammer. Hello. All right, he's kicking back, and they have the war spot back here. They're having 4 converging in on Welshi. It feels like they want this. They're throwing out the Inkswell. Okay. They want to go ahead and grab Welshi. He's just baiting himself for this. All right, the Spirit Vessel is applied. Out comes the arrow. He's slowed down quite a bit. He's going to go ahead and use the Stampede. He's in a terrible position right here. All right, they're using Dark Ascension. They see eyes on the Bloodseeker. He is in a terrible spot. Oh, there's the Soulbind. He's silenced up just a tad bit. Can't get the Rupture off in time. But man, that Golem was perfectly timed, and Revamp was able to go ahead and take advantage of it. Oh man, they can't finish the job onto Welshi either. He's able to escape. This tier 2 is going to go down. And in the meantime, Naya is pushing the mid lane, giving his sniper an opportunity to farm up in safer areas of the map. Oh man, it kind of feels like Rob Boss just needs one more item. Oh. All right, so they are going to continue this push on the tier 3. That's why he's TPing on back. He's going to go ahead and use an assassinate onto that pesky Night Stalker. He's like, hey, get away from my tower. Out comes the shrapnel. Blink forward, stomp, doubles edge. They're going to go ahead and try to do something about this. Feels like they're going to do nothing about it anymore. They're just going to go ahead and be like, hey, we poked and prod their defenses. They did not want to. They were ready for it. Let's get on out of here and reset the map into our favor and try to manipulate it where we need it to be. Okay, so they have a whole entire wave pushed up forward. Mid lane's pushing in. They have the Night Stalker pushing top, giving him some good amount of farm as well, which means they can go ahead and see if they can find themselves a smoke or... Moonlight Shadow's already been used, so they're going to go ahead. I would like them to see the smoke, use it here, and rotate on through and sweep into this area of the map. They have great vision here, so if they find one person rotating in for that bottom wave, which Welshi is doing at the moment, who is trying to make a blade mail, okay, they can go ahead and run for this. They can make a play on it. if they would like to or want to. Oh, Iascoti on Viper. Oh, big use of the remote mines there. Not in, you know, that's like the worst part about being a techies, is that you kind of have to sacrifice certain things right now. Just the start that Viper had, he's going to be able to take advantage of this Iascoti and just really ruin a lot of people's games. Like, he's going to slow down the Bloodseeker a little bit so that way it doesn't get gone on too much. Great amount of stats. Very, very chunky boy at this point. Doesn't care too much and is able to stand in team fights, you know? Okay. Feels like they're going to go ahead and do a rotation up top and sweep together. We do have Meph Jats and... oh, Rob Boss being gone on. We have Sean right there. They are going to go ahead and protect him up. Here's the blink forward, the Bloodrite, the Soulvine, and the Rupture's going down. Is there going to be anything of a follow-up whatsoever? Nope, there's no silence on Revamp. Revamp is trying to get away. He's wanting to run away. Is Stampede already used? Yes, it is. They're just going to go ahead and throw out another Bloodrite. See if they can connect with him. Blink forward. They do have this man stomped, and the Fatal Bond's pretty much hurting. So they were able to go ahead and get 3 altogether. That arrow landing perfectly was a setup for a debate for themselves, which led them to overextend for 2, and unfortunately, as well as the poor Revamp. He's like, oh god, why'd I go with them? So this opens up the map just for a little bit. They were able to push out just enough to go ahead and get some warding going on, or at least an attempt for some wards. They were able to deward that if they found some. Aw, cute little bomb there. Protecting a Roche Pit. Gotta put them in the right place like nowadays. Honestly, I don't think. Oh, who used the scan? The Dire used the scan. All right, so they're scanning out. They know that one person, at least one person's there. Oh, they threw out the arrow. They know this Roshan is in place. That Sentry Ward. Oh no, Naya force staffing himself. Proximity mine. Out comes the Bloodrite. They're gonna go ahead and commit on using the blood or the Rupture here. It feels like they want to do something about it because they're gonna go ahead and blink on forward. Out comes the Blood Mail. Oh, and dropping the damn golem for this. The BKB is out for B Jack Honeydew. He's gonna go ahead and try to run away at the moment, but he overextended. He's going down. But the Drow, they forgot about the Drow, and she gets absurdly murdered from Rob Boss. Arrow misses. Oh, Rob Boss does go down. Oh, they're trying to do the finish here. Gree and Naya are stuck. Oh, he's kind of stuck right there. Oh, unfortunate. Unable to go ahead and get the finish. This crippling fear is killing Naya slowly but surely. The Spirit Vessel and everything on top of that. Oh. Absolutely murdered. Oh, and Revamp's kind of happy being not killed. Ah. They're going to go ahead and pause up real quick. And while they're paused up, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a small little tiny break at the moment.
You need to be like a shark.
Negative. Be positive.
All right, so let's see. I had to walk away real quick. Anyways, so we have a small little break going on. All right. All right, here we go again. All right, so we had a team wipe after that, and the 7K lead for Team Ember. They were they were mining up Roshan. It was just unfortunate that that Naya got scanned out and drew and incurred the wrath of Team Ember. They're like, we're gonna burn you for this, which they did. They ended up just taking out the whole entire team. It wasn't exactly the best trade in the world. You know, you did lose the Drow, and if I'm not mistaken, did Ember? No. Yeah, Tech 9 did go down for a bit. So it's just like one of those trades that you really could not take, at least in my opinion. All right. A Pot of Greed throwing out that scan to see if they can get anybody there. It seemed like that whole entire notion of throwing down the mines and everything really opened the eyes for Team Ember, who's going to be drawing back. They're going to smoke up a bit, see if they can get themselves a nice, easy pick-off. And they're also committing the Moonlight Shadow for this as well. See if they can grab anyone rotating that way if need be. Naya's throwing himself in danger mode right here. All right. Oh, proximity mine going off. They're going to go ahead and stampede on forward, trying to see if they can get themselves a blind Inkswell, which they are able to go ahead and do so. Out comes the Soulbind and the Rupture as well. And oh no, Sean's in the middle of this with the Bloodseeker, and the Bloodseeker's kind of stuck where he's at, being chased down by the Night Stalker. And oh my god, they're leaving the sniper all alone. Oh no, the Inkswell is out. They have him stuck. They're trying to bait him in the wrong direction. Oh, then they're gonna go ahead and get the remote mines used. Oh, this Viper's just absolutely tearing the whole entire team apart. Proximity mine being used. Out comes a blast off. Can they get the kill on Tech 9? And they're unable to do so. Tech 9 putting himself in great position there. It felt like Sniper was able to do something about it, but well, they had to go ahead and commit that there. It felt like Rob Boss was able to do something, but unfortunately, he couldn't get those right clicks. He couldn't find himself in the greatest spot in the world. He didn't want to be too close. He didn't want to be too far, and he was just playing on the wrong edge of the stairs and just ended up being completely decimated. Those BKBs and everything that followed suit helped out Tech 9, Sean, and everybody else on the team. But again, this Drow is the focus of the whole entire team for Pot of Greed, and they're just trying to keep the gap as close as possible. They don't feel like this Viper's gonna do anything for Team Ember, even though he seems to be the lone survivor at times, or the second one going down. So Tech 9 is doing a great job at the moment, just absolutely trying to find ways in finding farm, being a great impact in the fights, which he has been. Oh no, double damage on Pi and Cuba. On top of that, has Aghanim Shard, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going to be very, very nasty with his Frost Arrows, because that's going to add in hypothermia. Once the hypothermia is applied to a unit, and if they die, it explodes, giving more stacks for everything else. Oh, they have things mined up. They're trying to find Naya. Naya is silenced up a bit, trying to get away, using 2 Force Staffs to commit to this. Proximity mines triggering. Oh, they have a few more triggers in the back line over there. More mines going off. Assassinates coming in. Oh my. Oh, those remote mines. Not enough. They had 4 right there. If he had a few more remote mines, that would have been 4 dead. B-Jack Honeydew committing the BKB so he can go ahead and get on out. They do see their eyes on Sean. They're going to throw down the Soulbind. Out comes the not proximity. Out comes the Phantom's Embrace. There goes the the Rupture, and that leap kills them. Oh, they're going to go ahead and use a Stampede. They find Tech 9 right now. Rob Boss seems to be in no man's land. They're going to go ahead and try to fight this out. Down comes the Golem and takes out 2. There is a 3rd into Gree, and Tech 9 is getting, well, let's just say big and beefy and murderous at the moment. Proximity Mine is keeping that Drow in place, but Sean, he's going to go ahead and just dive. Here's the buyback from Gree, so he can go ahead and help out with this high ground defense. Not only that, Naya is going to join in on this too. Sean with the dives, and Sean knowing his hero oh so well, understanding how far he can dive, understanding that his Spirit Vessel is extremely useful in these dives, and just absolutely taking advantage of these slow heroes that are right in front of him. All right, there's the Golem right there. Out comes the multi-shot. Oh, he seems to be broken at the moment. Well, the Inkswell isn't there, but hey, he's gonna go ahead and blast off and use his mines, and they're able to get Pi and Cuba once. Can they get him a second time? Out comes the Rupture with the Soulbind combo. They have 2 stuck right there. And that multi-shot is making it very difficult to to get across. And Welshi, great initiation, has the Blade Mail. Well, he's going to be trying to take on Tech 9, but he has to get away. Unfortunately, uses a Stampede, but does fall down anyways. I'm going to go ahead and use the Shrapnel. They do get Pi in Cuba just a little bit. Seems to be a little low, so they're going to heal him up with that AoE Shadow Word. All right, throwing out that Stroke of Fate anyways, trying to defend as best as they can. Out comes the Assassinate. That's a Blood Right. They're going to try to Force Staff. Oh, he's silenced up in the back line, but man, that Shadow Word is helping him a lot live. Ooh, oh no, Robus. He had to go ahead and get out of there, and man, if it wasn't for B-Jack Honeydew who ate that arrow, again with the Assassinate, trying to get rid of Pi and Cuba, and also trying to make it so that Bloodseeker is able to take advantage of his thirst. You know, that thirst is one of those abilities that you cannot underestimate. But Revamp has to be on top of this and just keep throwing out his Shadow Word, keep healing up his teammates, so that way that Bloodseeker cannot take too much of an advantage on them. They're throwing out arrows left and right. Ooh, Aghanims is completed on the Night Stalker. Trying to see what they can do here. Multi-shot being thrown out. Man, that range is deceptively long for it. Oh, they're trying to keep this man in place at the moment. Sean using his Dark Ascension. Oh, they're dropping the Golem. They have the Fatal Bonds applied. Oh, and out comes the buyback. They're going to go ahead and just focus down this tower. They're trying to use the ability of the long range. Double Rupture with a Soulbind. They're trying to come at Sean right now. And out comes the Gust. There's the multi-shot to go ahead and put some distance in between everybody. Double damage is on the Drow, so she's going to hit really hard. They got 2 Hypothermia stacks. Oh, out comes the BKB, but man, that double damage just rips through B-Jack Honeydew. It doesn't look good if you're Pot of Greed right now. Out comes the Assassinate. They're just trying to throw everything in place. The Stroke of Fate isn't going to be used because of the arrow, and oh no, Gree went down. Pi and Cuba with everything in front of them. Pot of Greed is just going to go ahead and call it GG right now. And good game for Team Ember. Oh boy. Whoa, Nelly. Alrighty. Alright, folks. That is going to be a 2-0 victory for Team Ember. That is very, very unfortunate for Pot of Greed. I was kind of hoping that they can go ahead and continue on for the rest of the lower bracket. And unfortunately, that isn't going to be the case. All right, so that's the end of their playoff run here in the Premier Amateur community. Okay. And that ends my broadcast for tonight and this evening. Okay. So we had some great games going on tonight. It was great to see how everything was going. And I want to say thank you for Pot of Greed for letting me cover their games. Okay. Oops. I have this a little too loud in my headset. Okay. So, quick little recap. It was a 2-0 victory from Team Ember. They just had the number for Pot of Greed. They just outdrafted them in certain spots, and it just worked for them. I'll put it that way. So there's nothing to be ashamed of if you're Pot of Greed. I think a little tweaking here and there and some strategies, and I think they're going to be able to go ahead and turn this around for themselves for the next seasons. That's going to be coming up soon. All right. And then if I'm not mistaken, I believe over on the Pot of Sins Discord, they are going to be having an in-house relatively soon, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and sign up for that or get in contact with either me or some of the guys over on the Pot of Sins Discord about that whole entire situation, about the in-house. Last I checked, they are going to have one. So it's been a little while since I saw the announcement, but they are going to have a little in-house as far as I know. And the reason I'm saying if you want to get in contact with me is so that way I can go ahead and direct you to the correct people so you can sign up for that if you're interested in it. All right. And also, don't forget, the Pot of Sins group, they do have a store. So if you are interested in wanting to purchase some of their stuff to show some support for the team, you are more than, welcome to go ahead and buy their stuff and so forth. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly copy that link and paste it into chat for you guys. So that way you guys can go ahead and show some support for Pot of Greed if you want to go ahead and do so. And if you want to go ahead and support the other team in Team Ember, go ahead and check out the Premier Amateur community. They have a Discord that you can go ahead and sign up and join as well. So you can jump over there and show some support for the community, for the PAC. And also, as well, I want to say thank you everybody for showing up and showing your support for me and the teams that I've been covering for the past few weeks. I'm not entirely sure when my next cast is going to be, but if I was to make a guess, I'm not entirely sure when it's going to be, but anyways, let me think here. I'm not sure when it's going to be, but it might be, no, I'm going to hope it's going to be soon-ish. So I'm going to figure that out. And if you can go ahead and give me a follow here or a follow on Twitter, go ahead and do so. You can find me on twitter.com/artifazel. That's who I am. And, I will go ahead and post up some other things on there as well. In the meantime, I want to say thank you again for supporting me and showing up for all these casts for the past few weeks. It means a lot to me. And honestly, it really does. It means a lot. So it helps out that people do show up for these casts. So again, don't forget to check out AD2L. I do have a few casts that I cover, a few teams that I cover over there as well, mainly Pot of Greed and a few others when they ask me to. So go ahead and check out AD2L as well and join their Discord. They're pretty popular, so check them out as well. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it here and see if I can go ahead and raid somebody if I can.